Hey, what's up? My name is Ange. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my fall TBR and some fall book recommendations. I just have to explain to you how much I love fall. Fall is my season. I love pumpkin picking, apple picking, the weather, the coffee, everything about fall. The clothes. Like, are you kidding me? The fact that I'm wearing a sweater right now, it's so soft, by the way. Love it. Anyway, the fact that I'm able to wear a sweater and jeans right now with like my little Ugg shoes or my little Birkenstock clogs, I absolutely love it. I'm so happy about it. Best season ever. I feel like I am so productive during the fall. I am always doing something during the fall. It's beautiful here right now. I thought that I would talk about some recommendations that I have and also talk about some books that I really want to get through this fall before we get to like the winter seasons where I feel like I just want like Christmassy books or wintry books and stuff like that. So let's get into this video and let's first start out with, should we start out my TBR or my recommendations? Let's start out with my recommendations. So starting off, I have to tell you that fantasy is just my number one during the fall. I don't know what it is about it. I also read fantasy a lot over the summer. However, reading it during the fall is just, I don't know what it is about it, but reading it during the fall is so good. So I just have to throw out there that fantasy in the fall is immaculate. The first thing that I had on here is the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. I read this about 2 years ago. I actually want to reread it because currently, as I'm filming this, Cameron just finished Corrupt last night. I don't know what it was. It was like one of my very first like dark romances. No, why am I doing quotes? It is definitely a dark romance. This series, like, it was so good. It was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I thought it was amazing. We have Corrupt, Kill Switch. Oh, nope, those are out of order. We have Corrupt, Hideaway, Kill Switch, Nightfall, and then we have Conclave, which is book 3.5, so that one goes in between Kill Switch and Nightfall. And then we have Fire Night, which is after the fourth book, so that's 4.5. So technically it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, but 4 real books, and then we have 2 novellas. So that follows Michael, who's in Corrupt, Hideaway, which is Kai, Kill Switch, which is Damon, and Nightfall, which is Will. Obviously, there's multiple books throughout this, and it does not all take place on one night, but the premise of the book centers around what they call themselves the 4 horsemen, the 4 boys, and these teenage boys who use the veil of the night before Halloween, which is what around here we call Mischief Night, and they execute their greatest dares and terrorize the small town that they call home. They're all on, I believe are they all on the basketball team? It's been a while since I read it, but I wanted to put this on the recommendation list because Cameron's reading it currently. I actually really want to reread it, and something, obviously, it gives fall vibes with the 4 Halloween part. So I thought that the series was really good. If I had to pick favorites, I rated Corrupt 3 stars. This is just by Goodreads. I'm not clicking into each one of them to see if I gave it 0.5s, but I rated Corrupt 3 stars. I rated Hideaway 4 stars, which is kind of weird because now that I'm thinking back on it, I feel like I didn't love Hideaway as much as I loved the other one, so it's crazy to me that I rated that so high. Kill Switch, absolute favorite. I rated that one 5 stars. And Nightfall, I rated 4 stars along with the novellas. Conclave was 3 and Fire Night was 4. So I obviously like these two, but I'm actually really wanting to reread them, so maybe I'll get to that. The next recommendation that I have is honestly in the complete opposite direction, but still has to do with like school and football and stuff like that, is the Field Party series by Abby Glines. Those books are all about it's the whole friend group, right? I believe they follow the entire friend group, and those books are Until Friday Night, Under the Lights, After the Game, Losing the Field, Making a Play, Game Changer, and The Last Field Party. I read all of those, and it is about a small southern town filled with boys in pickup trucks, Friday night football games, and crazy parties. They're very small books, like it's definitely not like this crazy series. They're young adult, they're in high school, and each book obviously follows a couple. They are interconnected somehow in the way that they are all set in the same town, in the same friend group, and things like that. But I don't know if you technically have to read one to read the other, because I don't know if they're interconnected standalones or if they're all just, if you could just read all of them. I read them in order. I thought that they were really good palate cleansers. Like, they definitely weren't anything life-changing. They were very short, written differently for more like of an adult audience, which obviously they're not. I would have loved to see more from them, but they are very light football, Friday night, small town kind of vibes, and I thought that they were really good. I highly recommend them if you're looking for something light. in comparison to like the Devil's Night series. The next book series, and again series, which is crazy because I feel like I'm just recommending series right here, is The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is The Naturals, Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood. I highly recommend Jennifer Lynn Barnes on all fronts. I absolutely love Jennifer Lynn Barnes. If you don't know, I actually met Jennifer Lynn Barnes in New York not too long ago. Fall, to me, also includes my Criminal Minds binge watch that I do every single fall, where I will just sit there and watch it like I've never seen it before. Spencer Reid. So that one follows a 17-year-old Cassie Hobbs, and she joins a special FBI program for young teenagers where they all have some sort of power. So Cassie has the ability to understand and predict human behavior. They're a group of highly skilled individuals, and these teenagers, because they're not actually like FBI trained and everything, they are just working on cold cases. I read The Naturals for the first book for a book club. I think we read it last September, and then I picked up the other books and read them on my own, and I absolutely love them. I highly recommend it. It's a young adult series. Jennifer Lynn Barnes is a young adult author, so it is a young adult series. She is also the author of The Inheritance Games, which I also recommend, but I was like, I can't have all of my recommendations be Jennifer Lynn Barnes, so here you go. You're only getting The Naturals as a recommendation, like, officially. However, please go read everything that she has ever written because she is so amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, there's also the novella called 12. I don't think that there is an actual physical book for it. I believe that is just available online. The next book that I have is a standalone book, and this is written by Riley Sager. It is Survive the Night. And in particular, why I'm saying this one and no other Riley Sager books, even though I have read other Riley Sager books, is because this one stands out to me the most. I believe that this was the first book that I ever read by him, and I don't know the time that it is, but it gave me fall vibes as far as the rain and stuff like that that was happening, like the weather outside. This is about a college student named Charlie Jordan who realizes she may be sharing a ride with a murderer. Charlie is with Josh Baxter, the man who was driving, who she met at the campus ride board, and are both looking to share the drive home to Ohio. Josh says he's driving to help care for his sick father, but Charlie suspects that he might be a serial killer, so it all takes place on one night. I absolutely love that book. That book introduced me to Riley Sager, so that one is a really, really good one. Like I said, I don't know the time that it technically took place on. Like, I don't know if it's the end of the year, middle of the year, Christmas break, things like I don't remember. But it gives me fall vibes, so I'm recommending it for the fall. The next recommendation is not a series. It is not just a standalone book. In fact, it is an author. So I highly recommend Freida McFadden. I absolutely love Freida McFadden. I have read so many books. They are like sit down, one sitting kind of books for me. Not saying that I recommend them for the fall because of when they take place or why, like the weather and stuff like that. Like they just give me fall vibes in the fact that I'm in such a thriller, kind of psychological thriller mood throughout the fall that I feel like it's perfect. Some honorable mentions that I have read is The Housemaid, Never Lie, we have The Inmate, The Coworker, The Locked Door. I've read a lot of books by this author, so I highly, highly recommend it. That's like the ending to my recommendations. However, just a few honorable mentions is anything fantasy related, so that probably goes for like the entire ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. I'm currently in the middle of the Throne of Glass series, but I do also recommend that one. Some honorable mentions to like The Inheritance Games. We have, who is the author? K.L. Walther also wrote, I believe it's What Happens After Midnight, which takes place, I believe it's in the fall of his senior year at a private school. We have L. Kennedy's, I believe it's the Rogue series or the Prep series, like things like that. I like to read a lot of like Monica Murphy when they're at Lancaster Prep, things like that, like school kind of early college related things. Anything with football books because it starts up in the fall and things like that. That is just so good and the perfect timing to read. But that brings the recommendations portion of this video to an end. And now, on to my TBR, which is not really like all that long, but it is at the same time. So let's start off really strongly with the fact that I want to read Haunting and Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. It scares me. I picked it up in Barnes & Noble the other day and I was looking at it and I was like, I really want you, but I didn't read it yet because it is in fact on Kindle Unlimited and I am on a book buying ban, so I did not purchase it, but I would like to. But that follows. Let me just read the thing to you because I know what it's about, but I don't know what it's about, so I'm just going to read the back to you. And it says, The Manipulator. I can manipulate the emotions of anyone who lets me. I will make you hurt, make you cry, make you laugh and sigh. But my words don't affect him, especially not when I plead for him to leave. He's always there, watching and waiting, and I can never look away. Not when I want him to come closer. The Shadow. I didn't mean to fall in love, but now that I have, I can't stay away. I'm mesmerized by her smile, by her eyes, and the way she moves, the way she undresses. I'll keep watching and waiting until I can make her mine, and once she is, I'll never let her go. Not even when she begs me to. While not required, it is highly suggested to read the novella Sayings of Hair first. This book was previously banned on Amazon due to trigger warnings. Please read reviews or go to the author's website. So clearly I will probably read that first. So we will find that. So Sayings of Fair, Haunting Adeline, and Haunting Adeline is on the list. I'll probably read that like early October. Maybe there will be a reading log for that. Keep an eye out for that. Trigger warnings, spoilers, everything. The next thing that I want to read, which actually by the time that I filmed this video, I actually did finish the first book, so I have the next two, and then I believe it's a novella. First book follows Pip, and she is doing like her senior project on a murder of Andy Bell, which is a girl that got murdered 5 years ago and apparently was murdered by her boyfriend. Now Pip does not believe that that truly happened, so her entire project is dedicated to proving that it didn't. She believes that Sal, the boyfriend, is innocent. She is dedicated to showing everybody that he did not do it, he was innocent, and it was just easy to pin it on him, and that's why you all did. I love that book. The next books are Good Girl, Bad Blood, As Good as Dead, and then the novella is Killjoy. So I'm excited to read those. I want to get them done during the fall. They were very quick, very easy, very, very, very intriguing. The next book that I want to read is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver, I believe is how you say the author's name. Two killers, they are rival murderers, Sloane and Rowan, and they form this friendship where they are killing other serial killers. I know Leather and Lark came out recently. It's probably like 7 months ago, but to me it's recent. And I've had Butcher and Blackbird since March because I remember I bought that for my birthday when I went on a book shopping spree. But I want to get to it. It's obviously like, does that not scream October to you? If it doesn't scream October to you, what does? So the next thing on my TBR is actually to finish the Throne of Glass series, which I don't know if I will get through it all in the fall, because fall to me technically ends like mid-November, end of November. Like I'm not a Thanksgiving girly. I don't know. So Throne of Glass, I have to read Assassin's Blade, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash, and then I'm done. So that's 5 books, and I am doing the tandem read on whichever books those are the tandem reads. So I don't actually know if I'll finish it all during the fall, but I would like to get a good portion of the way through during the fall because I want to finish that by the end of the year. And that is just following the assassin, Selena Sarduthian, as she competes in the King's Games to be the King's assassin. So I'm not going to go any further than that. If you have not read that, I don't want to spoil anything for you. The next thing that I want to read is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I also have Iron Flame, but we're starting off slowly. Fourth Wing is actually on my TBR for this month, so we will see how I get there. But Fourth Wing is about Violet Sorrengail, who's a young woman that's forced by her mother, the military general, to give up her goal of becoming a scribe and enroll to be trained as an elite dragon rider. I'm excited for that one. I think that that's perfect fall vibes too. I am actually very, what's the word? It makes me a little nervy. I know how popular it is. I'm afraid that I'm not going to like it as much as everybody, so it is a little daunting, but I am all around excited to read it. So that one is definitely, I think I'm going to get done with that this month, but I'm afraid of going back-to-back fantasy and kind of overwhelm myself and kind of slump myself out on the fantasy novels. So we shall see. But it is on TBR this month. And finally, another thing, the last thing that I definitely want to read is Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is book 2 in the Powerless trilogy, right? Is it technically called the Powerless trilogy? Let me just look it up. Let me verify. Yeah, Powerless trilogy. So it's book number 2. It is the continuation of Kai and Peyton, and I'm going to leave it at that. I read Powerless. I am currently reading Powerful, which is the little novella between 1 and 2. And I'm going to be picking up Reckless probably immediately after. I absolutely loved Powerless. When is this video going up? Yes, if you were interested, if you read that book, my book club read for the month of August was Powerless by Lauren Roberts, so you feel free to go look at all of my thoughts and feelings with my friends on that one. It was actually uploaded last week. So that brings this video to an end. I'm looking at my TBR card. If you see me, keep looking over here. There are a lot more books that I want to read during the fall. The ones that I said are the ones that are going to take priority. But other ones that I definitely would like to get to are Saving, Redeeming 6, Taming 7. So finishing what's out of the Boys of Tommen series. I have the other two for the Caroline Kepnes You series, so I have those 2 books to read. The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes is really good that I want to read. I have the next in the Twilight series, so I have New Moon. It's like I have a lot of books that I want to read, just the ones that I put on that TBR are the ones that I definitely want to get to first. So I'm sure that it's a never-ending TBR. That brings this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I gave you some recommendations. Maybe you can give me some recommendations on anything else that I can add to my TBR. Let's just make it more. Let's just buy more books. Please give me an excuse to buy more books. If you did read any of the books on my TBR or of the books that I recommended, tell me what you think. And that brings this to an end. Thank you so much for watching again. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Happy fall, everybody. Goodbye.